we're going to start the morning off with a prayer from Ms. Kaysen McAfee of Caddo Mills FFA.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today, thankful we once again are blessed to do what we love. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to raise livestock Thank you for the mentors, parents, grandparents, teachers, and volunteers who work tirelessly to guide us down this path. We are blessed to grow up in a barn and in this way of life. Thank you for the friendships born in competition and hard work and the family we gain through it all. Thank you for each volunteer here today. It is because of their generosity we have the opportunity to exhibit our projects. May we glorify you in each win and loss today. I pray that each person here today may know you and know they are loved by you. In your precious Son's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Kaysen. Now we will have our 4-H motto and pledge brought to us from Holly Rasband, Ward County 4-H.
In support of the 4-H motto, to make the best better, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Thank you, Holly. Now we will have Mackenzie Evans from Burnett FFA bring us our FFA motto.
Learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve.
And if you will, please remove cover as Ava Fry from Burleson County 4-H brings us our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in it, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ava.
I have given every single thing. Every ounce of my life to this craft. And in the process, I have lost my mind. to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it.
Class 2 will be the next groups to check in. And just a reminder, if you have
Mic test. Mic test, 1, 2. Mic test. Test, test, test. Mic test, test, test. Test, test, test. Mic test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test, test. Mic test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test, test.
If you do have a breeder tag that has the breeder name on it, those need to be covered with tape. If you have a tag with the breeder name on it, those need to be covered with tape. Folks, our Wether Doe judge today is Mr. Skylar Scotton from Nevada, Missouri. He grew up raising cattle and goats with his family. He is currently at Texas Tech, where he is working on a PhD in ruminant nutrition and coaching the livestock judging team. Give Mr. Scotton a big round of applause. Give these lamb exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Thank you, goat exhibitors. We're also happy to have Mr. Jordan Ambergy judging our Wether Dam show. He comes to us from Mount Sterling, Kentucky, where he was a graduate of Morehead State University. Alongside Maggie and Jay, they operate Ambergy Genetics with the goal of progressing the next generation of youth and sheep forward. Passionately, Jordan is also the business development lead for Reproduction Specialty Group. With a lengthy resume of judging major stock shows and state fairs to his credentials, Jordan is honored to be involved with the 2025 Rodeo Austin. Folks, let's give Mr. Ambergy a big round of applause. Once again, Class 2 should be checking in. Class 2 dams and does, should be checking in. The show barn is presented by TELUS Equipment Solutions. TELUS Equipment is proud of their partnership with Rodeo Austin, a partnership they've been honored to support for several years. They have 4 conveniently located full-service dealerships to service you in Austin, Marble Falls, New Braunfels, and Seguin. Stop in to one of their dealerships today. This rodeo season, they are offering rodeo demo discounts of up to $1,000 off of 1 through 5 series, 6 series, and compact construction equipment. Also offering up to $1,500 off gators. Visit telusequip.com or contact your local dealer today. On the goat side, we need tag number 132401 to check in. That is your state validation tag.
Test, test. All right, very good morning to everybody here at the Rodeo Austin. I'm fired up and I'm excited to be here. And walking in this morning, I was very, very excited and got greeted with some friendly faces here behind the announcer stand. And a lot of people I've called friends for a long time, and I get to judge alongside one of my good buddies over here on the sheep side today. So a special moment for me. Obviously, this is a show that means a lot to myself, and I always bring students here every year, and it's an honor for me to step in the ring. If this first class is any indication of what it's going to be later on in the day, it is going to be a fast race here in just a little bit, because we have got immense quality in our top five, and I thought a tremendous set of goats throughout the lineup. Ultimately, I boil it down to a top pair. I think a pair of goats here that are stout in their feature. They're good in terms of their body type and pattern right. Ultimately, when I get right around behind these things and I look at barrel turn and upper hip shape, I've got a real easy winner in this saddleback goat that wins this class. Now, I could rock her back in her knee a few degrees. I think when this one gets out and goes, she's very, very flexible. Her lines remain very good. And from right here, that is a big, bold cage. She is beautiful in terms of her loin edge. She beats the one in second, and the way she ties it into her jump muscle and the power that she's got to her upper hip. She's got a look that I like, that looks feminine up front. She's stout in her feature, good in her skeleton, with extra power to boot. That's going to be the kind I gravitate to today, especially as we progress to those heavier weights. I believe I initially missed this one on the way in. It took me a second to get my bearings and just kind of calibrate myself with what the quality of the class was going to be. The longer the drive wears on, the more I like the young man's goat in second. First and foremost, I love this one's skeleton, how well she's built at the ground. She's got good feet that point the right direction, the angle to her shoulder, the angle to her knee, and the way she's built up front is beautiful, and I like the way she comes long and level back into her tail. For me, when I get right in behind them, she doesn't just match my class winner in terms of upper body mass, and right there in her loin edge isn't quite as bold and broad. I like this one's pattern. I like her length and extension, and where she sets in her midloin better than the one in third. The one in third hit me hard coming in the gate, because that thing's got a poker neck, a real chubby body, and good wheels underneath. I studied this one from right here, and the longer she's out here, she's wanting to hyperextend her back leg. It just runs out of feature relative to how much mass she's got up high. Could stouten her there, but I do love that one's body, and her symmetry and motion's very good. Arguably the most powerful goat in the class is the one that lands here in 4, and it starts at the ground. Those are big feet, and she's really bold in terms of her feature. She's a big-chested goat that's real rank in terms of her body and her handle. I study her from the side. She's a little quicker in her pattern. She's a little shorter in terms of her hip, wants to coil up right there over her 10th, and I'd like to see her just maintain a little more length and balance in terms of her top line. Top 5, we round out with a really strong one here, and I like this one from the side. I think her top line reads very good. Her hind leg is strong. In motion, though, this one wants to get a little shorter necked, and with that, she gets a little harder and drier back into her rear rib and flank, just like to make her underline just a shot better and lengthen out her neck. As we work on down the line, I thought some goats here in 6 and 7 that could be a little sounder up front, but certainly bold. We got a nice one here in 8 that's very nice in her pattern. Need to just see her just a little wider from behind. Some goats here we could stouten up just a little bit. Great start here to our dojo at Rodeo Austin. If you guys will, let's give them a nice round of applause and compliment them on their efforts.
Test. Well, very good morning, and not to echo what my good buddy Skyler over there said, definitely the Rodeo Austin, as soon as they called, was a highlighted date on my calendar that led up with much anticipation, just in terms of being one of those Texas major stock shows that are bucket list items for any evaluator, as well as the youngsters and the breeders and the agents that are putting these kids and projects in the ring year in and year out. And as always, anytime you come to Texas, you get treated with the greatest of hospitalities and familiar, friendly faces that greet you with welcoming arms. And it definitely makes the time away from home worth it on my end. So first and foremost, thank you to the folks behind the scenes for the invitation to come down here. As we kick off your guys' Wether Dam show with Class 1, as always, when you get into the first class of any show, there's always a various types and kinds and weights and maturities to get into these things. Then you throw the differences and the wide array of breeds. I think it also throws a curveball high and inside at you. But I think for my job, once you step back and just analyze quality of livestock and the ones that bring the totals up to the forefront, very happy with the top 5 and how things shook out. I think the Southdown that comes in and makes the initial pull in a hurry, I think simply put, there was no hesitation or pumping of the brakes, if you will, that this one wasn't ever going to be my class winner. I think what she does is has a distinct advantage just in terms of her body weight distribution, the progression and angles to her body, and still how she equips that with the upper top side bulk that she does with no deviation in terms of quality on either end of her skeleton. I think what maybe sets precedence in terms of as we start progressing in weights of what kind of trips my trigger is what she does so very well is that combination of muscle and width and just the fluidness in terms of their easeability coming and going and still having that stock show caliber look from the side. I think that Southdown female wins this class pretty logically for me. Congratulations to that young man. I think the sort comes between the lower contemporary group after that Southdown, and if you wanted to arm wrestle me on a couple of these things, definitely no hesitation on my end. I think the rest of the top 4 comes in pairs for me, and I think it's the pair after your class winner that leads with some discussion for me, just in terms of the distinct disadvantage of bulk and just body weight and size in this one here in the second. But I think once you study totals, I think that's the next best one in this class. And like I said, she's also the most immature one out of the top 5. And if you wanted to say sell me on that, I definitely buy that. But I think if you study her at the ground and up high, she's the next best one just in terms of her boldness coming out of the backside of her blade. She's big loined, she's big centered, and I think that quality directly facilitates the ground. I think sometimes her neck wants to rock just too far forward like she's showing now, and maybe the angle of her shoulder isn't as tidy and clean compositionally that we deem ideal, but that for me is the next best one just in terms of muscle, balance, and proportionality within this particular drive. I think the one here in third is at a comparative advantage just in terms of length and extension alone. I think her too is one that highlights handle quality, proportionality, and I think of the top 3 grouping size for size, she is the biggest footed, she is the boldest at the ground, and I like that a lot about her just in terms of her foundation quality. I think of the top 3, I'd like to modify each end of her body clean and as efficiently as we find in that top duo. I read her hip being a fraction short. I read her shoulder blade sitting at the wrong angle comparatively to that duo we just discussed. I think if we modify those endpoints of her body, we can flip-flop that pair in 2 and 3. The Southbound obviously out here in 4 obviously rivals your class winner just in terms of moderation and squareness and just the representation of that one in terms of her breed. I think just in terms of making the next generation of Southdowns better, I think maybe her biggest attribute comes making the generation interval after higher headed, taller shouldered, and longer sided for that particular breed. As we round out your top 4, I think she comes at a comparative disadvantage just in terms of width and top side shape going down through her back. we round out your top 5 with the white-headed Dorper that I think definitely within that particular breed is an outlier in terms of one that is tall-shouldered, flat-shouldered, yet has that gnarly swoop to her belly and underline that I think is in vogue. I think this one also comes with a great deal of topside spread and dimension from stifle to stifle. I think comparatively, I'd like to clean her up in terms of her composition, and I think she's, as we round out your top 5, she's easily the most nondescript going down through her back. Not only that, I'd like to lift her up in terms of her shoulder height as well. Great top 5, an easy class winner on top. Excited to see the rest of them come throughout the ring. Congratulations to all those kids on an excellent way to start your guys' show.
Test 1, 2. Results from Class 1 Wether Does. 10th place was Emily Harrison. 9th was Kaylee Knowles. Breeder was Smithwick Genetics. 8th, Cooper Evans. Breeder is Evans Livestock. 7th, Sydney Sinclair. 6th, Josh Buzek. Breeder was Compadres Cabritos. 5th was Elvis McCrae. 4th went to Otto Coppin. Breeder was 777 Show Goats. 3rd went to Jamie Valadez. Breeder was Barlow Livestock. 2nd went to Henley Cloud. Breeder was Highview Ranch. And our class winner was Elvis McCrae. Congratulations. Let's give these doe exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Class 3 dams and does should be checking in. Class 3. Results from Class 1 Wether Dams. 10th was Sophia McElwain. 9th was Haley Reyes. 8th was Hope Foner. 7th went to Ainsley George. 6th was Lila Graham. 5th went to Bobby Tubbs. 4th was Sophia McElwain. 3rd went to Berkeley Knowles. 2nd was Madeline Larella. And our class winner was Carson Ingalls. Congratulations. Once again, Class 3 should be checking in, dams and does. Class 2 does are currently in the ring, weighing 70 to 77. And Class 2 dams are in the ring, weighing 131 to 140. Following Class 2 of the Wether dams, we will have a Division I drive. Thank you, lamb exhibitors.
This is a great class here, and I honestly, I think it presents a challenge. And when you're in a lightweight doe show, you have got to settle in your mind what you're going to go after and try and set the precedent throughout the day. I am ultimately trying to find the bold and the ones that can get out here and move with a nice look that still look maternal. I think we find that represented here in the top three, and still a really, really strong set of goats. Now, my class winner, I think she's the combination of the goats in second and the goat there in third. She's got the power and the width and dimension from behind that I like in the goat in third. The real high-quality look and neat neck and beautiful chest like the one we find in second. I find this goat very problem-free. She's sound. She's built right in terms of her skeleton. I like this one in terms of her chest floor, and her rib cage is very good, and you go in to handle that one. She's got a monster back and a really, really big pin set laid in her. I think she holds a distinct advantage over the one in second in terms of her flank line balance. She's stronger right in behind her shoulder, and she's got more to her right through the center portion of her stifle. When I get to this three-quarter view right here, she is better in her progression of width. She's better in the wedge that she's got to her shoulder blade, and better in her elbow than the goat that we have here in second. The one here in second, this was initially my class winner when they walked in and they sent to the scales. This one's front quality is what I am after in terms of a big front foot, a beautiful knee set, an awesome chest, and a rocket neck. She's got it. I think a goat that's still bold in terms of her body shape, and it sets up high in her. As I work back in this goat from her mid-body back, I'm starting to find some problems. She, for me, is a little tighter in her flanks. She's a little lower in terms of her pin set, and when I study this female in motion, she really pulls her hock in and gets flatter through her stifle. The goat here in third, a lot of power and just a lot of bulk and width in that doe. I like her chest. I like her stoutness through her rib cage and down her back. For me, as I study her from the side, she's a little shorter hips. She's a little more prominent in her jump muscle, and she wants to just go downhill a little bit in her tail. Also, for me, I'd like to stouten her in terms of her hind leg relative to the amount of mass and power that she's got up high. But that is a wicked good top trio that I think has got a lot of challenge and a lot of differences in it. A bold and bulky female here in four that's just beautiful in terms of her body shape and her muscularity. Of our top five, she is the thickest necked and the plainest at the crest of her neck and her blade. I'd like to lengthen her out of her hip and make her a little sportier in terms of her look. Round out the top.
Tag number 134211 and 139202. You're missing on the doe side. Your class is about to go in. 134211 and 139202. Tag 134211. Your class is going in. 134211 on the doe side. Class 2 doe results. 10th went to Sophia Gazetta. Breeder was Rutherford Showgoats. 9th was Jayton Ayers. Breeder was Decker Showgoats. 8th was Ashlyn Martinez. 7th went to Kaysen McAfee. 6th was Lainey Smozik. Breeder Jill Gladden. 5th went to Paige Duke. Breeder was Compadres Cabritos. 4th went to Luke Johnson. 3rd was Julius Schwartz. Breeder was Compadres Cabritos. 2nd went to Ava Birch. Breeder was Barlow Livestock. And our class winner was Rylan Albert. Breeder was Gendrich Beam Livestock. Congratulations. Test. Once again, our Class 3 does and Class 3 dams should be checking in if they have not done so. Correction, Class 3 is in the ring. Class 4 does need to be checking in.
Well, Class 2, my introduction is this. Welcome to Texas, right? Because when these things trotted in and Class 2 fired up and started with the layup lines, we started pulling these things right away on the initial sift because there's 10, 11 of these things that came in firing on all cylinders. They're high-headed, they're tall-shouldered, they're bulky in terms of muscle with rear legs that are built for the show ring. Then after we got those 11 to the scales, there's another group of 5 or 6, and they're on down the line that are similar in terms of their build, but I just thought they needed to be highlighted just in terms of muscle and width. And my congratulations to all those kids and the breeders and the people behind the scenes. You know, no lie, I thought the one that comes out, my young man in the black shirt, my buddy over there, Mr. Scotton, is a big Kansas City Chiefs fans. This is Patrick Mahomes up here in terms of one that just as an outlier amongst his contemporary group. I think this is a female that no matter how you're starting to evaluate these things for their weight, I think if you dig them on muscle and width, I think that's an easily find. If you dig them just in terms of progression of their weight and their proportionality and just a well-built animal, she absolutely fits that bill. But for me, I think it's the combination and the hybrid blend of one that just pushes the envelope to the extreme of maintaining her width underneath herself and the bulk muscle she throws on the backside of her shoulders. But most importantly, it's that look from her shoulder blade forward that I think excels the contemporary group because it's apparent that she is just chock full of the right kind of muscle from top to bottom and end to end. But it's her shoulder height, her head carriage, and her extra agility off of her front end, the bounce and bend of the rear leg that excels the group and makes her a very easy class winner for me. 2 through 4 was very fun because a guy really had to work and find the ones that brought the totals up to the forefront and to find the attributes you can't live without and the liabilities that you can accept. And I think once you do that and kind of get the bird's eye view, I'm very confident and comfortable the way 2 through 5 shakes out. A totally different speed of your class winner, but I think that's the next best one by far is this young lady in the blue shirts, female. I think what she is a female that is so elegant up front, but still yet it's this particular viewpoint that tells me that she's the next best one, because with her ability to have a head carriage that hits the rafters and a shoulder height that might actually have the comparative advantage over your class winner, I think she's the next one that has the advantage just in terms of bulk, width, and muscle. And I think her too is one that combines that ability to have that extra bulk and mass with a great running gear underneath herself. Picking on her, I'd like to see her maintain her levelness degree on the go like we find in your class winner. I think as your top duo run out, she's easily the most nondescript out of the upper side of her hip. Not only that, I'd like to square her up off of her rear ankle joint as well. Third was one that absolutely rivaled your class winner for me in terms of muscle, width, and feature. I think her too is one that has some moderation that she brings to the table. She has a wild handle quality about her, and from her flank forward, her shoulder to her knee to where she decides to throw her feet up front is the same mold as your class winner, no doubt. I elected to split that pair just in terms of the back half of her body. I need to see her more maternal and practical about her flank line. Not only that, as the top grouping wears on, I just need to see her bigger and bolder in terms of her width from her pin bone from pin bone. The one here in 4, that's my speed from the side, no doubt, because I vividly remember her trotting in the ring with her head carriage, her shoulder height, and her ability to maintain and sit her spine down in her body cavity with a set of feet and legs that can trot around the ring for days. Simply put, as the top 4 wears on and we round out your class, she's easily the plainest going down through her back and the most nondescript in terms of her width from stifle rifle to stifle, but I like her, and I think she's at an advantage in this class for having some length and extension and maintaining it with a short kind of a back. The one here that has the advantage in muscle and width over 4 and 3 rounds out your top 5, because she's one that, as you guys can see in the stands, her rack and the shape out of the backside of her shoulder is unrivaled. She's big and bold in the center portion of her cavity, so why is she in 5th? I think it's the end points of her body that big gnarly rib cage lies within that is my issue. Her hip reads a fraction short, her shoulder reads a nickel long, and I think that gets highlighted when you put this girl out in motion as the top 5 rises on. She's easily the straightest and most unathletic in terms of her movement off each end of her body. Great class, too. There was 20 of these things that I think these kids needed congratulated on for their hard work this year. There was a heater of a class winner on top. Failed to do so in Class 1. Put your hands together and congratulate all these kids as they exit the ring.
Our first and second place exhibitors on the Wether Dam side for classes 1 and 2 need to line up for the Division 1 drive. First and second place from classes 1 and 2. Madeline Lyrella, you are needed at the staging area. Madeline Lyrella for the Division 1 drive. And once again, Class 3 weather dams should be checked in. Madeline Lyrella, you are needed at the check-in. We're about to do that drive. Last call for Madeline Lyrella. Last call. Division's about to go in. We will be taking DNA for all champion and reserved divisions on both sides, so we will need a parent or advisor to come to the ring for those exhibitors. Okay, we are ready for our Division I drive on the Wether Dam side. First place out of Class 1 went to Carson Ingalls, and second place went to Madeline Lyrella. First place out of Class 2 went to Karsten Stevenson, and second place went to Lottie Owen. Folks, let's give these exhibitors a big hand.
Well, as the buzzer sounds here on your first division of your Wether Dam show here at Rodeo Austin, a very fun division because obviously things on the top end were as elite as you could get, but still I think we started seeing deep classes out here in Class 2 with numbers of quality ones, then the numbers of real good ones, and the number of elite ones on top. And, obviously I think that's a forecast of what we're going to be seeing later on as the show continues. Gonna hit the highlights on what I see, because I think as a dad on the sidelines, as a coach or an agent or a breeder, it's always very valuable when you can see what's in the mind, or try to see what's in the mind of these guys sorting these things prior to making their selections. We started out with that first class, and I thought man, there's a whole lot of differences in that particular class in sizes and weights and breeds. And I think once you put all that aside, I think this southbound female still hits me hard just in terms of the quality she brings to the table. I think one for that particular breed, I think is tall-shouldered, is high-headed, but I think she excels for the fact that she's the combination one of that particular grouping for having muscle, having width, and still in a sound running gear underneath herself to deem her the athlete of that particular setting. We had to work maybe find 2 through 5 of them, but I think that ewe lamb that comes out, or the Wether dam, excuse me, in that particular class does so from an athletic freshness standpoint that still, in terms of a well-balanced animal, checks those boxes. I think comparing her to the 3 contemporaries in this particular group, she might be at a distinct disadvantage in terms of muscle and width, but also she's also fighting that immaturity battle with her, because she is the smallest in terms of weight and condition, but I think she belongs out here just in terms of quality alone. We had a heater of a class that just wrapped up, and like we said, not to sound like a broken record, but there was 10, 11 of those things that made the initial sort just in terms of running uphill and having muscle, then another 5 or 6 of those that had some muscle that maybe you'd like to get up there in the top grouping to be mentioned, but there was a top 5 of them that were awesome, and I know I mentioned that we have Patrick Mahomes up here in that particular group compared to his contemporaries, and rightfully so. I think what makes her unique in this particular setting is honestly everything. I think if you're sorting off width, I think she does that for you. If you're sorting off build and skeletal quality, I think she's the one for you, but she's my choice in that particular setting in class for what she brings to the table of being the combination female, of being the outlier that pushes the envelope in terms of bulk and density, and being open in terms of her center body, but still yet having that wild look from the side. She's shallow-chested, she's bold-flanked, and she has that picturesque quality from the side that only needs one snap of a picture. I think the one that comes out here in the second, I think, was deserving of those honors and is very much deserving to be out here for what she brings to the table as well. She, too, is one that highlights a well-proportionate, well-balanced animal that's athletic in terms of her touch and handle quality. You would like to see her have that same kind of dimension out of her upper hip that we find in your class winner, but I think just in terms of the muscle she has and the way that it's organized from front to rear with the running gear I'm after, I think she fits the bill for me as well. I think there's 2 out here that's pretty logically the follow suit for your champion and reserve honors. That 2 out of your heavyweight class out here in your Wether Dam division. Please put your hands together and congratulate all those kids.
Our champion ewe lamb went to Karsten Stevenson, and reserve champion ewe lamb went to Lottie Owen. Congratulations. Results from the third class of does. 10th place was Lane Socius. Breeder was Highview Ranch. 9th was Whitney Christian. Breeder was RC4 Livestock. 8th went to Abigail Grown. 7th went to Abigail Bryan. Breeder was Shrank Show Goats. 6th went to Raina Epley. Breeder was Decker Show Goats. 5th went to Jamie Valadez. Breeder was Barlow Livestock. 4th went to Claire Martin. 3rd went to Aiden Howe. Breeder was Titanium Livestock. 2nd went to Christopher Bailey. And our class winner was Kaylee Knowles. Breeder was Highview Ranch. Congratulations. Results from Class 2 Weather Dams. 10th was Avery Walton. 9th was Josie Hanna. 8th went to Daisy Tovar. 7th went to Grayson Williams. 6th was Ava Jade Grissom. 5th went to Claire Bland. 4th was Olivia Calhoun. 3rd went to Abigail Owen. In 2nd, we have Lottie Owen. And our class winner was Karsten Stevenson. Congratulations. Class 4 Weather Does are in the ring, weighing 84 to 87. And Class 3 Weather Dams are in the ring, weighing 141 to 148. We'll need our Class 4 Weather Dams to check in. We'll need our first and second places from Classes 1, 2, and 3 of the Weather Does to come check in shortly for the Division 1 drive. We'll also need Class 5 for Division 2 to check in. Give these lamb exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Let's give these doe exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Still missing one exhibitor for the first division, the Division I doe drive. If you have a first or second place from classes 1, 2, or 3, you need to be checked in. Okay, we are ready for our Division I Wether Doe drive. From Class 1, first place went to Elvis McRae, and second place went to Henley Cloud. Out of Class 2, first place went to Rylan Albert, and second place went to Ava Birch. From Class 3, first place was Kaylee Knowles, and second place was Christopher Bailey. And then in Class 4, first place was Kyler Sewell, and second was Addison Maxey. Folks, let's give these doe exhibitors a big hand.
Well, the introduction for the Class 1 of your second division of your Wether Dam show here at the Rodeo Austin is this. Very challenging class because maybe it is the first class that maybe there wasn't a deeming outlier or one that just kind of surfaced to the top that said, hey, I'm the exclamation point, highlight marker, put an asterisk on that thing's noggin that it has to win and sort two through the rest of them. But I will say this, for just in terms of a quality and depth of a top five, the best we've seen. And I think we've got a class winner in your young man's in the blue shirts Wether Dan that fits the mold. And once you find this one, I think it's a very good representative of this particular class, because what she is no deviation or veer off the road of what we tried to find. I think she's an overwhelming one in terms of her shape, her athleticism, and her ability to maintain that with an extra bulk and dimension with a great set of running gear that allows her to be consistent in how she handles her width from top to bottom. After that, from her blade forward, she's still a high-headed show sheep that is right in terms of her body weight distribution and the progression and angles to her body. But perhaps maybe my favorite viewpoint on this Hampshire female is that one at the natural state. I think just in terms of moving and having muscle and having some width and the right kind of shape up high, I think she is the outlier in this particular class. I had to work out here on 2 and 3 because they are opposite speeds, but no doubt, in my personal opinion, the next two best ones after that class winner. Honestly, more of my speed lies here in the one and second, just in terms of how open she is, not only at the foundation of the ground, but her consistent width and how she maintains that up high. She is bold-backed, and she rivals that class winner that we just discussed in terms of the shape out of the backside of her blade, her handle quality, the center portion of her body. I think myself could curl up and take a nap later this afternoon inside of that body cavity. Outside of that, comparatively speaking to your class winner, she's at a distinct disadvantage in terms of the length of her rump and the length of her shoulder blade, and I think that gets highlighted as you see that girl enable around the ring. She's a fraction shorter and restricted, just need to see her more free and loose going around the ring. I think if you just wanted to study these from a one-dimensional standpoint, the chromed up silver ewe-lamb I think is one that you would want to flip-flop that pair in 2 and 3, because just looking at these things, she is the high-headed, tall-shouldered one that's seamless down her back and maintains a very high level and this degree down her spine. I think once you study her from a 2 and 3 dimensional standpoint, as the top 3 rounds on, she is easily the flattest. She is easily the plainest in terms of the rib cage and body shape alone. Just need to construct her in a bolder and bulkier manner to move her on up up into that top duo. And maybe that's where this 1 and 4th has that comparative advantage over that chromed up one we just discussed. And, you know, if you wanted to flip-flop that pair, I definitely can listen to that. But for me, when I study this particular female, she's one-dimensional also. You get inside of this girl, she's big and dense going down through her back. She's athletic in terms of her handle quality. But I think her too, if you study her from the depth, from her upper portion of her shoulder blade down to where her sternum lies, beneath herself into her forerib, she's easy carrying the most depth up front. I just need to see her progress her weight in a more tidy manner. We round out your top 5 with one that I think is very deserving of your top 5 honor in this Class 1 of Division 2, just in terms of the shape going down through her back and her muscle and width underneath. I think as you round out your guys' top 5, she's easily the fragilest, most fragile in terms of her foot size and ankle. I need to see her more seamless in terms of the way she uses her hip and hind leg as well. But I think she is short stepping. She is restricted in terms of her movement. I just need to see her grab that gear and get out and go the way she and maintain her shape and body in a more efficient manner compared to those 4 in that top grouping. Guys, that was a heater of a class. Excellent quality top to bottom. These kids are doing an excellent job. They're working their tails off. They're well-mannered. Please congratulate all those kids as they exit the ring.
Our Division I champion went to Kaylee Knowles, and reserve went to Rylan Albert. Congratulations. We are still missing 2 for Class 5 does. Tag number 134805 and tag number 746210. Your class is about to go in. Results from Class 4 Wether does. In 10th place, Leah Egan. 9th was Gracie Poindexter. 8th was Madison McDaniel. 7th went to Chloe Todd. 6th was Waylon Epley. Breeder was Epley Showgoats. 5th was Audrey Epp. 4th was Raina Epley. Breeder was Epley Showgoats. 3rd went to Lainey Smozik. Breeder was 22-4 Showgoats. 2nd went to Addison Maxey. And our class winner was Kyler Sewell. Congratulations. Class 5 Wether does are in the ring, weighing 88 to 90. Class 3 Wether Dam results. 10th place was Bristol Fisher. 9th went to Caden Nance. 8th was Laura Sorensen. 7th went to Kenna Porter. In 6th, we have Brooke Garms. 5th was Braden Bryan. 4th, Karsten Stevenson. 3rd went to Olivia Sandy. In 2nd was Blaze Smith. And our class winner was Kaysen Wooten. Congratulations. Class 4 Wether Dams are in the ring, weighing 149 to 159. We will need our first and second place from Class 3 Wether Dams here shortly for the Division II drive. Give these dam exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Give these doe exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. We're pleased to have Devin Sisk Photography back as our official Rodeo Austin show photographer. You can view and order photos online at devinsiskphotography.com.
Well, as another class in the second division concludes, I think like your first class that we just rounded up with, I think we've got a group of these things. I think we pulled 17 or so that needed to be commended and get a second look. And of that initial 17, I think there was 10 or 11 that made that quick pull for having the ability to move and look good and check the box in terms of balance and proportionality. And of that group, there was a very distinct top 8 or 9 that had some extra bulk and width and pushes the limits just in terms of all the extremities you can ever ask for on the right kind of skeleton. Much like that class that we just discussed, not to sound like a broken record, but you had to work a little bit to figure out how you're going to organize this class. And I think your class winner for me is once you look past that birthmark on the top side of her hip and find that she is level and then square built out of the backside of her upper rump, I think there was no questioning that she needed to be deserving of class winning honors because what she represents is one that is out there in terms of her look and build from her last rib forward. She's shallow chested, she's neat chested, she's bold about her rib cage and open in her center body. One of the freshest in terms of petting them that we've seen today, but still she's a high-headed, elegant type of a female that whether you're in the show ring or trying to make the next generation better, from her flank forward, she can make them as extreme as any that we've seen. The question is she practical enough and maternal enough in the bottom side and the back half of her belly? Is she just bold enough that, as some that we've seen on the upper portion of her rump? And maybe that's a question. And like I said, I think once you look past that blemish mark up front in terms of her birthmark, you find she is acceptable in terms of her width from pin bone to pin bone. And once you check that box, I think she's a logical class winner in my mind. Honestly, guys, from 2 to 4, the rest of them, maybe 4, you could jumble them up, and I wouldn't arm wrestle you too much. Why this one's in second? I just like looking at this thing. She is high-headed. She's attractive. She's feminine about her neck and jawline and crest through her neck. She is tall-shouldered. She's great-shouldered. And she is just as extreme in terms of her look, much like we find in your class winner. Comparing her to your class winner, though, I would like to see her just cracked open and facilitate that added bulk and shape out of the backside of her shoulder like we find in your class winner. Not only that, I would like to see that width and muscle down her back maintained in a consistent manner. That comparing her to that class winner, the shape and muscle she does have going down through her back maybe doesn't maintain with the same width consistently at the ground that we see up high. But guys, that's a great moving, great looking one that just in terms of progression and angles to her body is very deserving to be in that top duo. Contrasting speed is my guy out here in the third hole, because this one is the moderate option that if you guys elect to choose and say you need to make the next generation better just in terms of having them square and stout and moderate underneath, I think she can do that. For the show ring setting, to me, I think she's walking a little short coupled. She is the most restricted about her step and movement off each end. Not only that, as the top trio wears on, I would like to see her maintain a bigger levelness degree out of the upper side of her hip and then give her a shot more width from stifle to stifle to see her balance better from the side. And maybe that's where the one here in fourth has that comparative advantage over the ones in 3 and 2 is just that added dense hard shape and muscle, not only going down through her back, but her width from stifle to stifle. I think out of your top 5 grouping, she's easily the muscle option. She is easily the width option. Why is she in fourth for me? Just need to see her maintain all that muscle and organize that shape and density in a more efficient and clean manner. The one here in fifth, length and extension. If you're into those things, I think you can move that girl up on higher. I just need to see her come with more athletic shape and expression going down through the top side of her back. Great top 5, excellent class. Hats off to all y'all kiddos rounding out the second class of the second division of your Wether Dam show. Over here on the goat side.
Haley Eichmann, we need you and your Wether Dam back to the show ring. Haley Eichmann. Okay, we are ready for our Division II drive on the Wether Dam side. Coming out of Class 3, first place was Kaysen Wooten, and second place was Blaze Smith. Out of Class 4, first place was Emily Bynum, and second place was Claire Martin. Folks, let's give these 4 exhibitors a big round of applause. Our Class 6 Wether Does are entering the ring, weighing 91 to 92 pounds.
Wow, what a challenging second division over here on your Wether Dam side of things, and it was very fun. And I call it challenging because in the second division, as we expected, as we start increasing weights and sizes and maturity ranges, we've seen everything. We've seen big muscled wide ones that are lean. We've seen big muscled wide ones that are on the heavier condition side, and we've seen tricked out looking ones that maybe are past their prime and still hanging on to their show career, and we've seen those elegant ones that are maybe still youthful and better days are ahead of them. But I think all in all, I think we've seen a second division of quality, and my hat's off to you folks here in Austin for bringing a great set within this second division. Much like we did in Division 1, gonna kind of show my cards on what I'm thinking as we go out and select my favorite 2 out of the second division. I don't have a very good poker face, but here it is. The 2 class winners are very, very similar, and there's minute differences. My guy out here that wins the lightweight class has the moderation option. This old girl is square. She's stout, she's moderate, and one of the more intriguing components on this girl for being the moderate square one of the ones that we have to pick for your champion, she still boogies off of her feet and legs off of a high level. She is opened up in terms of her center body. She is wild in terms of her back shape, and in terms of the relationship between her scapula and the upper side of her hip isn't extra, but I think is very acceptable. Picking on this girl like we will on all of them, I don't know if she just ties seamlessly from the center portion of her spine into her loin and into her upper hip, but I think it's acceptable. Most importantly, for as much muscle as this thing has, you would like to clean her up in terms of her shoulder height and her overall head carriage, but guys, that would be a very rare thing to do for one that has this kind of squareness, this kind of bulk, and this kind of body width from a female that can still get out and be athletic off each end of her skeleton. I think just in terms of rib cage alone, that one in second is in the same sentence as that class winner we just discussed. She is wild-bodied. She's great underlined. Her too isn't perfect in terms of her shoulder height, but why she was in second for me, as you start studying these things at a natural state, she gets a little easy in terms of her hock assembly. I like to square her up off of her hip and hind leg to go ahead and see that one bounce and bend more efficiently in a class where one does that excels the class with the same kind of muscle and width. We just rounded off the one, we just rounded up the class right here in front of me, class 2, and we said once you get past that initial birthmark on the upper portion of that one's dock and hip and say she is level enough, man, she is elegant in terms of her look. She's exotic in terms of the length up front. From her shoulder blade back, she is the tallest shouldered, highest headed one pound for pound that we've seen today. And still, just in terms of width and progression of body weight, I still think she's in a league of her own out here. Picking on her, I don't know if she is as bold and maternal in her belly as some of them out here. Not only that, I don't know if she has enough muscle in terms of her lower stifle and the back half of her body to make her balance just extra, but I think it's acceptable in those regards. I think what we have in that heavy class is one that gives a wild look that's very rare from the side with an acceptable enough amount of muscle when you view her from the 3/4 angle. The one here in second, I think we said I just like looking at that one. She has got a bold rear leg. She's big-footed. She's stout at the ground and still maintains that width up high, acceptable enough. Not like we find in your class winner, but I think she beat her contemporary group below her, just being a well-proportioned animal with the right kind of muscle. I guess picking on her compared to that class winner, just need to see her wider from top to bottom. Guys, it's splitting hairs between the two that we have in your class winners, and obviously, like I said, I don't have a very good poker face. It's between the combination of those two for champion and reserve. I think the one that gives you the most elite look from your side is going to be your champion, and we're going to follow up with your other one for your reserve. Your young lady is going to be your champion out of class 2. My guy out here in class 1 will be your reserve.
Our Division II champion went to Emily Bynum, and our reserve went to Kaysen Wooten. Congratulations. Just a reminder, we do need a parent or advisor to come to the ring for these division champions and reserves. Give these doe exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Class 4 results on the Wether Dam side. 10th was Blaze Smith. 9th was Journey Betts. 8th, Krina Rumfala. 7th, Kaysen Wooten. 6th went to Karsten Stevenson. In 5th, we had Haley Eichmann. 4th was Emma Neal. 3rd place was Brady Brister. 2nd went to Claire Martin, and our class winner was Emily Bynum. Congratulations. For those that are wanting to hold tack over between this show and the market show later this week, we will have some horse stalls available, stalls 1 through 10. Those will be available to store tack. You are storing it at your own risk, and you will have your tack amongst others in the same stall. So again, stalls 1 through 10 of the horse stalls will be reserved for tack at your own risk. Still getting TGBA results for Class 5 does, but I'll go ahead and announce the placings. 10th place was Laramie Drury. 9th was Abigail Grown. 8th went to Gracie Nixon. 7th was Cameron Lewis. 6th went to Lacey Piper. 5th was Kylie Tobias. 4th was Brinley Lumbrezer. 3rd went to Mackenzie Evans. 2nd was Raina Epley. And our class winner was Misty McElroy. Congratulations. Class 5 Weather Dams are in the ring, weighing 160 to 170. Class 6 will be the next group to check in on the Weather Dam side. TGBA results from Class 5 Weather Does. 10th place, Laramie Drury. Breeder was Triple D Livestock. 9th, Abigail Grown. Breeder was Holt Farms. 8th, Grace Nixon. Breeder was Toch Showgoats. 6th, Lacey Piper. Breeder was Techstar Genetics. 5th, Kylie Tobias. Breeder was Custer Showgoats. 4th, Brinley Lumbrezer. Breeder was Ripley Newsom Showgoats. 3rd, Mackenzie Evans. Breeder was Evans Livestock. And 2nd, Raina Epley. Breeder was Schrank Showgoats. Missing some tags, some exhibitors for the next class to go in on the doe side. Tag number 570871. Tag 125469. Tag 134431. Group is going in. Class 7 does are entering the ring, weighing 93 to 95. Class 8 does will be the next group to check in. And again, Class 6 Wether dams should be checking in. Results from Class 6 Weather Does. 10th was Talia Diaz. 9th was Chance Metter. 8th was Trincafe Martinez. Breeder was Shrank Show Goats. 7th was Amelia Johnson. 6th was Haley Satterfield. 5th, Colden Thornhill. Breeder was Cadillac Turf Service. 4th, Allie Williams. Breeder is Shrank Show Goats. 3rd, Cooper Evans. Breeder is Evans Livestock. 2nd went to Elvis McCrae. Breeder is 2-4 Show Goats. And our class winner was Isabella Stroder. Congratulations. Let's give these goat exhibitors a hand as they exit the ring. Again, our Class 8 does and Class 6 dams should be checking in.
Well, I'm sure glad Skylar's not about to wrap up that class, because I think we've got some talking points to throw at the audience and folks tuning in on the live stream about how we're going to organize this class, because by far I think this was the deepest in terms of immense quality, the deepest in terms of the most amazing top 5 that we've had yet during your show. And then we got a top trio of them that are just standouts, and I know it's probably cliche to say that they could have probably have just walked and talked any other classes that they've been in prior to this one. It's just how the cards jumbled up and fell that all 3 of them just fell suit in this particular setting. Here's how I see it. The class winner, I think just when you start studying all the positive attributes that this female has and represents, and you start listing them out or typing them on a Word document, you better download that thing in a PDF file, because that thing would be extra big to send to folks and tell everything good about this female. I'll try my best to tell you what I see in her. She's a beast in terms of her width at the ground. Her chest width coming at you is the same impression that you get from her hock width going away, and you study that width and how she brings it up high. She is fat back, she's big-ended, but still, when you study her at the 3/4 angle and this look that I've got right here, she's textbook in what she brings to the table as far as the fundamentals and basics of an aesthetic, well-balanced show sheep. We'll talk more about that class winner here later on. The one here in second, it's not my speed to make sure that they all look the same, but she does fit the same mold as your class winner, because her too is one that brings width and muscularity up to a high level. She is big backed, and the way her spine is just sitting down within her body cavity is one of her better superlatives. And still, when you study her look, when the young lady gets on that one and ask her to respond and her top line comes up in her, she kind of gives you that same caliber of a show sheep look that we find in your class winner. Why is this one in second for me? It was the dividing point at the natural state. Whenever that young lady isn't super aggressive on the front end of that one, or walking around or holding off to the side, maybe that female gets a fraction longer bodied. Her top line wants to deviate and become loose. I just need to see that one sit a little bit more sturdy from top to bottom, in front to rear in terms of her spine setting. But that's a female that combines muscle, width, and good looks. And in my book, those are always some positive things. 3 years ago, I would have said this one needs to win, and win in a hurry, because of this look right here. By far, if you wanted to study and sort this show off of a one-dimensional look standpoint, you win, and when you win in a hurry with this one, because you only need one snap of a picture or look on the live stream that says this one is one of the more exotic ones, maybe is the most exotic animal that we've seen from a female standpoint in the show ring setting. You study it from a 3-dimensional standpoint and start totaling these things out. You start questioning, is there enough muscle and width in this particular female? And that's why she's in third, is this particular viewpoint right here. She's not opened enough in her center body and how her forerib lies within the 2 endpoints of her body. She's flatter and plainer going down through her back. She's more nondescript as far as her handle quality. But guys, if you had 100 of these things running around in your keeper ewe-lamb pen, and she can make them in vogue in terms of their white feature and silhouette, I just think we need to keep it simple and basic. She just doesn't have that athletic shape and muscle and width to rival that duo that has those positive attributes. The one here in fourth rivals that duo we just discussed on top, has muscle and has width, and still can get out and maneuver off each end of her skeleton as good as any. I think from her last rib back, I want to see her more maternal about her belly line. I just need to see her more dominant in terms of her upper and hip as well. Maybe give her a shot more dimension in regards to her stifle, but I think from her last rib forward, she too is one that's high-headed, she's tall-shouldered, and has a great rib cage and body shape to her. Just need to see her more muscle and practical on the back half of her body. No doubt the one here in fifth rivals those in that duo that we just discussed up front because she is big muscled. She's got a fat and square rear leg. Just need to see her more tidy up front. As we round out your guys' top 5, she's easily the deepest and the most vanilla in terms of her look from the side. Guys, that was a heater of a class. There were some in 6th, 7th, and 8th that has muscle and has some width. Maybe just needs to get out and handle that muscle and width and with the more authority off their rear legs. Please congratulate all those kids. That was an excellent class, a great top 3, a very good class winner on top.
Again, if you are wanting to hold tack over between this show and the market show, you can do so, but it will need to be put in stalls 1 through 10. Horse stalls 1 through 10 will be used for tack holdover at your own risk. Your pins will need to be totally empty, so you'll need to get everything out of your current pins. Class 8 Wether does are entering the ring, weighing 96 to 98 pounds. We will need our first and second place exhibitors from the Class 5 Wether Dam Show to come check in for the Division 3 drive. Results from Class 5 weather dams. 10th place was Braden Parks. 9th was Cody Howard. 8th, Crease Barbie. 7th, Lysa Vick. 6th, Saxon Brudigam. 5th went to Daisy Tovar. 4th, Olivia Sandy. 3rd, Avery Walton. 2nd, Amy Moore. And our class winner was Brinley Hogg. Congratulations. Results for Class 7 weather does. 10th was Brooklyn Probiskley. 9th, Hannah Graves. Breeder is Humphrey Livestock. 8th, Hadley Cool. 7th, Emmett Dowdy. 6th, Samuel Williams. Breeder is Lazy JB Livestock. 5th, Luke Lacasio. Breeder was Evans Livestock. 4th, Mackenzie Reynolds. Breeder was Bryson Borgoats. 3rd, Peyton Kahn. Breeder was Stork Livestock. 2nd was Audrey Bettiga. Breeder was Lazy JB Livestock. And our class winner was Paisley Akins. Breeder was Lacopa Show Goats. Thank you, Doe exhibitors. We will need our first and second place exhibitors from classes 5, 6, and 7 on the Doe side to check in for our Division II drive. And again, we will need our first and second place from Class 5 of the Wether Dam to check in. And we will also need our Division 1 and Division 2 champions and reserves to check in shortly on the Wether Dam side.
Well, the last class of the day is the most challenging because, as we start progressing in weights, I still see some quality in terms of their skeletal attributes and balance, and I think all of these that made this initial sift and even the pull on the handle have muscle. It's the ones that came in a lean enough package, an athletic enough package that got in the top 5, and there's the ones in 6th, 7th, and 8th that I think just in terms of their body composition and skeletal quality are deeming to be up here in the top 5. I think the way they're just handling the maturity probably just wasn't in their cards to go ahead and go all in with them on the top 5. These are the ones I like that combine the right kind of skeleton, the right kind of muscle, and still doing that in an athletic and toned and shapely fashion. The one that comes in and just demands your attention goes ahead, and from the start, there was no ever beating this class winner from what she brings to the table. I think she's a great looking individual that's got a distinct look about her in terms of having that look that's in vogue. But outside of that, I think you studied her for the basics and fundamentals. She's wide at the ground. She's square in terms of her hip and hind leg, but I think she opens up with an acceptable amount of muscle. Maybe not the overwhelming outlier in terms of width and muscle. I'm going to give that advantage point to the blue girl here in a second. But the right kind of shape and muscle is one of the attributes in this girl with the look in terms of proportionality and balance and their overall skeletal makeup that I'm after. Congratulations to that young lady on an excellent class winner. Like we said, if you wanted a single trait on muscle alone, you can use the blue girl, and I wouldn't argue with you one bit. And she still gives you a good enough look up front. Not the elite high-headed look that we find in your class winner, but I think from her shoulder blade back and studying her from her center portion of her body and how it ties seamlessly into her loin and upper rump, I think she needs to be commended on a Wether dam that not only is very deserving of the top duo honors, but I think finding a female that can make the next generation of show sheep better. She herself is one that for having that kind of overwhelming width and muscle can get out and still flex and go off each end of her body like we find in your class winner. I just think at a natural state she's not as high in terms of her head carriage or has that elevation in terms of her shoulder blade forward that we find in your class winner. But that's your muscle option, that's your width option, and that's your feature option of your class. Wouldn't argue if you wanted to switch that duo up front. The one here in third is one that rivals your class winner from her center portion of her rib cage forward. She is seamless and flawless going down through her back. She is athletic and shapely when you get in for a closer inspection on her, and still the one that runs the right direction from her shoulder blade forward. Comparing her to that duo up front, she's just not as dominant in her upper pin bones and lower stifle shape. Just doesn't balance as well as that we find in those two above her. The one here in 4, man, that one's rib cage is to die for and rivals your class winner just in terms of rib cage alone. Just didn't think her upper rump was long enough, and I think that statement gets highlighted whenever you ask that girl to get out and go. She gets restricted off each end of her body. We're going to round out your top 5 of this class with one that I thought needed to be commended for having some muscle, having some width, and having some feature, and still in a lean and athletic fashion. Just like to modify that one in terms of her build and skeletal system up front. But I think what finds her in 5th, comparing her to some that has that same kind of muscle down the line, is she does that in a leaner and more athletic and toned fashion. Guys, an excellent class to round out this heavyweight division. Very challenging to sort through the maturity and weight and the body composition. But I think we find a top 5 of them that are clean in terms of their composition and the same kind of elite ones that we found all day. Congratulations to all those kids.
Our Division II champion went to Paisley Akins, and our reserve went to Isabella Stroder. Congratulations. We have our Division III Weather Dam Drive going on. First place out of Class 5 went to Brinley Hogg. And second went to Amy Moore. First place out of Class 6 went to Flora Appleton. And second place went to Brooke Lacasio. Let's give these 4 exhibitors a big round of applause. Again, we need parent or advisor to come to the show ring for our division champion and reserve on the doe side. We do need our Division I and Division II champion and reserves on the Weather Dam side to come check in. Class 8 doe results. 10th place was Caden Martinez. 9th was Allie Williams. 8th, Caleb Bunger. 7th, Brooke Lacasio. Breeder was Evans Livestock. 6th, Rebecca Confair. 5th, Bailey Underwood. 4th was Brady Brister. Breeder was Shrank Showgoats. 3rd, Lila Swanson. Breeder was Stork Livestock. 2nd, Julie Jones. Breeder was JB Goats and Livestock. And our class winner was Misty McElroy. Congratulations.
Division III, very fun division, and I say it was fun because I had my work cut out for me because I think numbers were the biggest, just in terms of the entries, but I think numbers of very, very good weather dams were very immense within those 2 respective classes. And just the number of elite ones that we've seen or unique ones or having those positive attributes that the industry is needing and showcasing right now was very fun to go ahead and sort through and find those minor differences in them. And I think my hat's off to the people, the breeders, the parents, and the folks behind the scenes for putting a heavyweight division of weather dams that I was visiting with Mr. Ripley that, no doubt some of these things are 16, 17, 18 months old or older, but still all of them were very deserving of the show ring setting and finding themselves not only out here to the front row in seconds, but like we talked about, there's some down the line that need to be commended for their hard work and effort. No doubt, I think by far the 4 best ones that we've had out here to represent your first and seconds out of those respective classes. Anxious to show you what's on my mind. That lightweight class out of this division was very, very good, and by far, I still vividly remember that 3rd place one just being so out there in terms of her look, but we found a duo that are so similar, but yet they're very different. Our class winner, I remember the comments that I said that you would need to download a PDF if you started listing all the positive attributes on this female and what she brings to the table. For folks that are just now seeing her for the first time or tuning into the live stream, we find a female out of this class, class 1, that just pushes the envelope in every area. She's an outlier in terms of her width underneath herself. She's wild in terms of their stability off of her hip and hind leg. One of my favorite viewpoints is this girl for how wide and bulky she is her chest width coming at you and her hawk width going away from you leave you with the same impression no matter the viewpoint or angle that you study her. And once you check the box that she pushes the envelope, and I know my boy Skyler over there, he loves them things being wide and muscular and stout, but I think once Jordan sells it, that one's just so out there in terms of her look and build and silhouette from the side, makes her a very, very unique option out here in this particular division. Maybe more my speed just in terms of natural head carriage and shoulder height is that one in second. Because that one maybe has the comparative advantage over that class winner from there alone. She is higher headed, she is taller shouldered, and is very comparable in terms of her width and muscle, and follows suit as that class winner. Why that one stood in second, it was splitting hairs. She's a fraction longer bodied than I deem ideal, and that gets highlighted when you get that girl on the go. We're not showing that girl pretty aggressively. She wants to get a little lackadaisical on her top line, but that's getting very critical of one that combines muscle, good looks, big feature, and width and density in a still elite looking package. That heavyweight division, I'm very impressed with the duo that even though they're different, I'm very intrigued by them because both of them come to the table that with having that kind of maturity and weight to them, are still lean and still athletic. They're both very different. The Hampshire female, or the Hampshire Wether dam, in front of me, is one that just highlights the right kind of skeleton, build, and proportionality that I deem necessary. She's high-headed, she's seamless going down through her back. From her flank forward, I think she rivals that class winner we just discussed. Picking on her, she's not as bold and dominant in her upper pin placement. She doesn't maintain the levelness degree that we find in that 2-0 we just discussed. And I guess if you're just trying to make a perfect world, you could see her come with more muscle in her lower stifle to go ahead and have that well-balanced look that we find in that class winner out of Class 1. But guys, from her flank forward, from her nostrils to her noggin, to her shoulder, to her lower blade, is awfully good in what she brings to the table. The blue girl has more muscle, no doubt, than that one we just discussed, and her too is one that is gnarly going down her back, has all the kind of width and muscle you could ever ask for. Just didn't think she was built as neat and tidy up through her front end and shoulder forward that we find in the three that we just discussed prior. Guys, I think there's one that I deem a specific outlier. You got to work to find your reserve and kind of figure out where you want to lay your priorities and emphasis. If you would, congratulate all four of these young ladies, but the ones that participated in this heavyweight division as well. Best division, a couple of my favorites up here on top.
Our Division III champion went to Brindley Hogg, and reserve went to Amy Moore. Congratulations. Again, we do need our champion and reserves for Divisions 1, 2, and 3 to line up for our Wether Dam drive. Class 6 Weather Dam results. 10th was Danielle Johnson. 9th, James Wilkie Schultz. 8th, Powell Moore. 7th, Jesse Merriweather. 6th, Emerson Garner. 5th, Brady Brister. 4th, Brody Fisher. 3rd, Olivia Calhoun. 2nd, Brooke Lacasio. And our class winner was Flora Appleton. Congratulations. Class 10 Weather Does should be checking in. Okay, we are ready for our grand drive in our Weather Dam show. Division 1 champion went to Karsten Stevenson, age 12 of Paradise, Texas, member of Wise County 4-H. His future plans, he wants to become a lamb breeder, and favorite hobby is showing sheep. Our Division I Reserve champion went to Lottie Owen, age 12, of New Berlin, Texas, member of Guadalupe County 4-H. Future plans to go to Texas Tech University, enjoys showing sheep and doing photography. Our Division II champion went to Emily Bynum, age 17, of New London, Texas, member of West Rusk FFA. Emily plans to attend college and work in the livestock industry. Favorite hobbies are going to the lake with her dog and working livestock. Our Division II Reserve champion went to Kaysen Wooten, age 12, of Badias, Texas, member of Madison County 4-H. Kaysen wants to continue showing lambs and attend Texas A&M University. Enjoys showing lambs and playing baseball. Our Division III champion went to Brinley Hogg, age 18, of Lubbock, Texas, member of Lubbock County 4-H. Brinley enjoys playing softball and showing livestock, wants to attend A&M and get an animal science degree. And our Division III Reserve champion was Amy Moore, age 12, of San Angelo, Texas, member of Tom Green County 4-H. Amy enjoys showing livestock, wants to attend Texas A&M University. Folks, let's give these lamb exhibitors one more big round of applause. We're also excited to have our Rodeo Austin president, Mr. Rick Lane, here to present our champion and reserve champion banners in our Weather Dam show.
Well, as we conclude things over here on their Weather Dam side of things for this year's Rodeo Austin, very thankful for the opportunity and the invitation and be the choice to get to come down and experience this and sort through the Weather Dam side of things, and most importantly, work with the young people. As we said earlier before the Class 1, very thankful, and I know it's very apparent being from outside of the other world of the state of Texas, the hospitality and all your stock shows down here is second to none. And the people in the back, from Lauren and the organization, from picking me up at the hotel to feeding me this morning to the ring help and the photographers, guys, what you guys are doing here at Rodeo Austin is second to none. My hat's off to you guys that do everything that makes this run like a very organized sports team, because it's not easy. It's not easy to do things at this level, and you guys do it and do it with these. So if you guys are around ringside, I don't care if you're watching the sheep or watching the goats, please congratulate and show your appreciation to the folks and the staff here at Rodeo Austin, because they're doing this for the kids when they could be doing other things. So if you could show your appreciation for the staff members here at the rodeo. Again, thank you to the folks, my ring help, that have got these weather dams in and out in an efficient manner. It makes it fun. It makes it fun for me because we can get into a rhythm and a pace to where we can sort them based on how I like them, and still giving all these kids a second and sometimes third look and handle to make sure these classes are organized and as lined up as to where I think's fit. And I don't have anything planned or a motivational speech, but these weather dams are very fun. And, I was with Skylar this morning, and, I know we weren't told how to sort these things, because you can sort the weather dams various different ways. Are we projecting them in terms of what they're going to make the next generation of show sheep to appear like? Or are we going to show these things as a terminal endpoint as far as carcass and muscle traits? But I think what makes this setting very unique is both of them are right. There is no wrong answer, and I think that's what I like about so much about the ones on the front row and the ones on the back. And not only they're very, very elite in terms of still being show sheep, for some of them being 17, 18 months old. But no doubt when you start studying these things as far as the basics and fundamentals of quality livestock, but still that can push the envelopes to a high degree, no doubt they can make the show rings, the next generation of show sheep at a higher level. Guys, I thought it was an excellent show. I thought there was one that just kind of hit me pretty hard, and we made bold comments about that earlier and what makes her special, at least in my standards. I know you guys got to go home and get some weathers and get those dialed in for later on in the week, but if you guys would, please show your appreciation to these kids on their hard work this year, the staff here at Rodeo Austin, and please congratulate not only your champions, but the ones that didn't make it out here. We've seen an excellent show, but most importantly, good luck to y'all kiddos down the road, and I'll go show you my two favorites. Thank you again.
Our grand champion Weather Dam went to Brindley Hogg, and reserve grand went to Amy Moore. Congratulations. And once again, we appreciate our Rodeo Austin president, Mr. Rick Lane, being here to present the champion banners and buckles. Class 9 Weather Doe results. 10th place was Ashlyn Martinez. Breeder was South of Nueces. 9th, Misty McElroy. Breeder was Sturt Showgoats. 8th went to Ford Brooks. Breeder was Evans Livestock. 7th was Kinsley Thomason. Breeder was Kennig Showgoats. 6th went to Hannah Brooks. Breeder was Evans Livestock. 5th was Briley Weiland. Breeder was Ebbing Weiland Showgoats. 4th was Lacey Piper. 3rd went to Mackenzie Rangel. Breeder was A&M Livestock. 2nd went to Carly Parrott. Breeder was Sturts Kiefer Livestock. And our class winner was Catherine Carly. Congratulations. Our Class 10 Weather Does are currently showing. Class 11 should check in.